When you were a kid, did you ever have one of those themed journals or activity books, commonly American Girl branded, with little prompts for creative writing or self-reflection or doodling that helped you explore and build a stronger 10-year-old sense of self? Today, we're basically doing that, but fashion edition and for adults. Although really people of any age could do this. And we're doing it through zine making. Honestly, I really just wanted to slow down and do something cozy and crafty this week. I've been in a real artsy crafty mood lately, so I hope this can be a nice opportunity for you to grab some craft supplies or just like a cozy little treat, take a little break from the busyness, and explore style through a reflective, creative mini project. Let's get into it. But first, actually, let's sit down. Wait, I'm so tiny in this frame. Hold on. Okay, first off, for anyone who doesn't know, what is a zine? For a more formal definition, according to scholarly journal Wikipedia, a zine is a small circulation, self-published work of text and images, usually reproduced via a copy machine, and usually the product of either a single person or a very small group. For a more casual definition, they're basically small, short DIY booklets that anyone can make and make copies of on a small budget. You can even make just one, which is what I'm doing here. And you can make it about whatever you want. I personally love making and looking at zines about all sorts of things. And now I would like to formally invite you to follow along with me today and make your own. Let's get started. My first step was, of course, to make the booklet that we're going to fill. You can do this however you want, from however many pages you want, but I'm going to do the classic 8-page foldable zine that you can make out of just one sheet of paper. Basically, to do this, you fold a sheet of paper into eighths, 4 rectangles by 2 rectangles, and then cut open a slit right here in the middle like this, so you can then fold and pop the pages out like this, and then fold it all together. I will also link a video tutorial from someone else in the description in case you get stuck here. And now that our booklet is made, we get to fill it! Finally, the exciting part. And for this zine in this video, I'm going to fill it with 8 different creative prompts for personal style reflection, 1 on each page. So let's begin with prompt number 1. First though, can I admit something to you? I put this cardigan on because I wanted to have like nice, cozy, crafty vibes in this video, but I'm actually getting so hot wearing this. So we're gonna take this off. I did leave some room for a title on the cover. Feel free to do that if you'd like to add a title. Mine is called Liz's Style Exploration. But this is also where we're doing the first prompt, which is drawing my cartoon character outfit. By which I mean, you know, if you were represented as a cartoon who wore the same thing every day, what outfit would you wear? What best represents your personality or feels the most quintessentially you? I think this is a great prompt to better explore and understand your personal style because it forces you to really distill all the facets of yourself and how you like to dress and express yourself into one simplified outfit. And this can be a real outfit you own in your closet or just something you make up that you like the vibe of. Mine is sort of a combo of both. Personally, whenever I think of what I would wear as a cartoon character, overalls quickly come to mind. They just feel very me. They're playful yet classic, they're a bit artsy, and they're distinct but still practical and comfy, not distinct in a way that's unrealistic. I also added a chunky striped sweater, which I think carries a lot of similar qualities. It's playful yet classic, practical and comfy yet visually distinct. And weirdly, when I picture my cartoon self, I always imagine shorter hair and stronger bangs, so I went with that. I mean, they're kind of bangs like this, but a little more distinct. I've had that hair before at numerous different points throughout my life, and even though it's probably not my most long-lived hairstyle, it kind of still feels like the most me when I picture myself as like a little cartoon guy. That's the hair I have. Maybe I should bring back this hairstyle. Let me know. Is it time to switch it up? It could be. I will say, I think this cartoon character outfit prompt does kind of automatically make me think about a more cartoon character style, which is always more simplistic, bold, and often a bit more catered to children. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but my cartoon character outfit to me is not quite the same prompt as like the most quintessentially me outfit. They don't bring the same things to mind. Maybe they do for you and I'm just thinking too hard. But that's why this is just one prompt of our zine today. There are many other components of style to explore here, which brings me to prompt number 2. For the next prompt to explore my style, I went with a writing prompt, mainly because I didn't feel like there was a good way to draw this one. But it is my style priorities. And this page is really gonna reveal to you all how bad my handwriting is. That's fine. I'm not self-conscious. I'm okay with it. Within the style priorities umbrella, I put 4 sort of little mini prompts. We have, I want to look blank. Physically, I want to feel blank. Mentally, I want to feel blank. And through my style, I want to express/communicate blank. I'm not gonna over-explain these too much because you're just watching me write words on a page. It's not that interesting. But I wrote that. I want to look cool, interesting, effortless, eclectic, and artsy. Physically, I want to feel comfortable, unconstrained, easy, and cozy. Mentally, I want to feel cool, effortless, chic, and free. Finally, I wrote that through my style, I want to express/communicate my artistic sensibilities, warmth, welcomingness, it's probably a better word for that, but it's fine, creativity, knowledge, and competence. Honestly, that's kind of a lot to communicate through clothing, and I don't know that all of this can be communicated through clothing, but the question wasn't whether I can, it's what I would like to communicate, what I would like to be perceived about me. And honestly, this prompt made me think a lot about some of my most core values, my points of pride, honestly, my insecurities. Thinking about these things also made me more cognizant of why I dress the way I do in certain situations. Honestly, if you only do one of these 4 little fill-in-the-blank prompts, you only have room for one, I would recommend this one. It gave me a lot to think about. All right, next we're moving to another drawing prompt, things I wear for my favorite activities. Notice that this is not my favorite pieces in my closet. These are pieces that are most connected to elements of my lifestyle that I value and that are important to me. I've been thinking a lot lately about how lifestyle and sense of fashion really interact and inform one another. When reflecting on your style, I encourage you to think not just about your favorite clothes, but the clothes you wear to do your favorite things. If you're trying to better understand and develop your style in a way that's like integrated with your whole continuous positive sense of self. Personally, I drew my thrifted oversized flannel that I always use as my smock whenever I paint, which isn't that often, but it's something I really enjoy. It also has more than a little paint on it, and now I'm kind of regretting not including that in the drawing, but I don't even know where all the paint is. I just know it's there. I also included my sporty little sling bag I use for hiking and climbing, things of that nature. And you know what? Recently, I had this out for a hike, and then the next day I went to trivia, and normally I would use like a more typical purse, but I had this out with my stuff, so I was like, hey, I'll just throw this on. And then at trivia, my friend complimented me on my bag, which I feel like is a perfect example of how letting your lifestyle integrate into your fashion sense actually creates more interest and dimension to your style and just makes it better. I don't know, there's something to be said for style that's like a complete fantasy too, but reality just like breathes a little more life into it, I think. For my last piece, it was honestly kind of hard to come up with another thing I wear for a specific activity. I don't do that many activities that require certain attire. So I just went with my cargo pants that are, most importantly, comfy and a bit too big on me because that makes them my go-to pants for any everyday situation where I want to feel like I'm wearing real pants, but also be comfy enough to lay on the couch wearing them for 3 hours. I couldn't fit all that on the page. I just wrote these are my pants for lounging/errands. But these are the pants I live a lot of my everyday life in. So I thought they deserved a spot on this lifestyle-oriented page. The next prompt I gave myself was to draw a clothing item I loved as a kid. I specifically chose something I myself wore as a kid, but I also think it could be really fun to do something you admired from someone else in your life's wardrobe, like a parent or a sibling. I was pretty particular about clothing from early childhood. I even made a whole video about my childhood style and how it informs my style today. I'll link that up here in the cards if you're interested. So I had a lot to choose from here, but one piece came to mind right away, which I also have a photo of, so that helped. My fancy velvet Christmas dress with this big, frilly, oversized collar. I think a big part of why this came to mind right away is that it still resonates with me so much. I wouldn't have wanted to dress like this on an everyday basis, but I have always loved an appropriate occasion to dress up, and I remember feeling quite fancy in my big frilly collar and the lush velvet fabric, and I'm sure this dress was a hand-me-down. They were all from our older cousins, and then they like went through the sisters in my family, and I just have such nostalgic feelings associated with these treasured pieces. I remember like even as a kid having a nostalgic feeling about them, partly because of that connection they had to other people in my family. Like some of the wardrobe pieces I talked about with the first page, this dress also contains a pretty high dose of both playful and classic vibes. You know, I never really think of my style as classic because I also really value that sense of artsiness and creativity, but maybe my style is a little more classic than I think. I do love a big frilly collar. I actually would really love for you all to weigh in on this. Having perceived my style just through what's presented on YouTube, I'd be really curious if you all think the word classic describes my style or not. Oh, I also just wanted to say on this page, because we're referencing childhood fashion, speaking of childhood, I actually first learned about zines as a kid from this particular American Girl branded activity book, Tear Up This Book by Carrie Smith. This was just my favorite thing ever. I have always loved any kind of like guided, creative, expressive activity book. I had so many of them, including one about fashion. Actually, maybe we should look through it sometime here on the channel. Okay, this next prompt is a little more abstract, and I decided to actually use collage for it, although you could totally also just draw or write it out. It is trying to capture the essence of my style with images that are not clothing or fashion images. I'm thinking colors, shapes, patterns, places, motifs, text, even. Any visual that resonates with you. You just put it in there. Like I said, you could totally draw this and just draw whatever images come into your mind, but I'm always saving like random catalogs and junk mail with the intention to someday use it for collage, so I had some on hand. And I was not totally sure I would be able to find any good images from such random sources, but joke's on me because I ended up cutting out way more than I could possibly fit on this tiny zine page. It's amazing what tiny bits you can pick out of junk mail. While doing this, I really wasn't thinking too literally about what each image represented. I truly just grabbed anything that caught my eye and felt like me and added it to my collection. And once I had all these images together, I picked the ones that felt the most me, the ones that felt the most balanced, all in combination, and started arranging them on the page. And as I put all these images together, I realized without me even thinking about it very intentionally, the images naturally connected to the way I dress, what I want to convey with my clothes, some of the goals I wrote on my style priorities page. In a way, this exercise was just like the themes and values of my style revealing themselves to me without me even having to think about it. Like, for example, I have a lot of nature in here, which I think connects to a sense of like whimsy and adventure, but also practicality. I like clothes that allow me to connect with nature. And then I also love sort of an understated, earthy, natural feel in my clothes. I even prefer natural fibers and fabrics. But I also like color. And it's funny that I chose colorful nature scenes, not neutral ones. Then, of course, we have this quilt, which totally speaks to that coziness and warmth I strive for, and a sense of artsiness and creativity. The bridge structure feels more historical, structured, classic, you could say. The starry wrapping paper is definitely playful and whimsical. And then finally, on top, this little ticket and field notes book, which aren't the sort of thing I would have come up with myself to draw here, but I think they totally represent a sense of adventure and eclecticism. They convey like experience and observation, a sense of curiosity, all things that sort of relate to the style goals I mentioned earlier. And none of this was intentional. This might have been the most enlightening prompt in the whole zine. I really, really loved and had so much fun with this one. I'm just looking at it here. I'm like, wow. I love it. That said, the next one is a little more straightforward, a little easier to wrap your head around. It's just a style that inspires you. Originally, this was going to be like a style icon, a specific person, but honestly, I just couldn't really come up with any that speak to me as much as like a broader historical era speaks to me, such as 1960s fashion. So that's what I chose for this one. I absolutely love 1960s fashion, especially the mod style. And you know, I don't really dress like this, but something about it is so captivating to me. I love the shapes, the colors, the bold, sharp lines and details. Really, I think despite the fact that I don't dress like this, it has a lot of the same qualities as some of the core elements of my style, specifically that balance of playful and classic. I think the bright, short skirts feel a little less practical to me, which is probably why I do not actually dress like this very often, but some traits of 1960s style have definitely made their way into my wardrobe, like baby doll silhouettes and Peter Pan collars. I have to admit, I am not totally satisfied with the drawings on this page. I went back and added a third girl later, and then I added like a little frame, and I think that improved the overall visual impact, but these doodles are not my best work, and that's fine. This whole project is really more about exploring these themes and questions than creating great art. So if you also make any drawings you're unhappy with, that's totally fine. It's just for you and just for fun. And although I would love to see it, you don't have to show it to me or anyone. First and foremost, I want this to be for you. Here we have another more literal prompt. I just wanted to draw some of my favorite accessories. In all honesty, I was getting a little worn out, and this just sounded like fun to draw, and I was running out of daylight. That said, I also think accessories can really be the key that takes something from clothes to an outfit. It can be the place you add the most of your unique personality and taste, and they can end up being some of the strongest signatures to one's style. Think Jane Birkin with her straw basket. Accessories pack a lot of punch, and they're also often repeated more often than other clothes because most people just don't have as many like hats as they have shirts, you know? Dare I say, someone's distinct style is conveyed more through accessories than clothing. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I'm just spitballing here. But I am willing to bet a lot of you recognize a lot of the pieces I'm drawing here because you've seen me wear them over and over and over again. And I also think looking at them all together does sort of give you a distinct picture of my style, even without an outfit present. That feels like another point in favor of accessories being more important to personal style than clothing. Also, I realize not everyone has quite the accessory collection I do, but even if you just have one everyday bag, necklace, pair of shoes, earrings, or sunglasses, I think seeing them all together would still say a lot about your style. Finally, to close things out, this last prompt is another version of yourself prompt. So on the front, we have your cartoon character outfit, and now on the back, the prompt is, what would an alternate fantasy version of yourself wear? This one is about the self you fantasize about, not even necessarily like a realistic goal for your future or anything, but like how you imagine you would dress in your fantasy, where you like work as a fine artist in a foreign country, or live in a woodland cottage and grow all your own food, or you're a librarian in a cozy, well-funded community library. These are the selves I fantasize about, but yours could be anything. It could even be literal fantasy, like you're like a fairy or a medieval warrior or something. It's so fun to think about. It's honestly hard to choose just one. I feel like I could do a whole zine just of me and all my little fantasy selves. But for this zine, I decided to go with the little cozy librarian fantasy. I've been really into the library lately. I've been going there a lot to like work and do stuff and also to check out books, of course. And the vibes are amazing in an alternate life. Maybe that would be my whole vibe. And I think in that fantasy, I would wear a nice long skirt and a cardigan and maybe glasses. We're going a bit tropey here, but that's what the fantasy self is all about. It's about archetypes and the vibes you associate with that imagined life that make it so alluring. You definitely don't have to build the whole world into the image, but you know, I was enjoying the fantasy, so I had fun with it. I am also now realizing, funny enough, I probably actually dress more often like this fantasy self outfit than my cartoon character outfit. What's that about? Maybe I'm just constantly getting dressed like to fulfill a certain fantasy in my brain. Or maybe my reality is closer to this fantasy self than I thought. All right, y'all, there it is. We are one finished zine richer and 8 style exploration prompts wiser and more in tune with our individual senses of style. I did also go back and add a few more details and new little title cards because I just like hated how my handwriting looked on some of these pages so much. And I think that really brought it all together. Here you can see the completed little work. I love it. I had so much fun making it. I also just want to share a few more prompts you could try if any of the ones I used just aren't resonating with you. A few more ideas are your number one favorite piece of clothing in your closet, your most worn pieces of clothing in your closet, a wardrobe item that is sentimental to you, someone you always wanted to dress like as a kid, some items on your wish list, or a specific style icon, real or fictional. And of course, you can do any other little prompts you come up with. This is just like to give you inspiration, get those creative gears turning. I really hope you have fun with this if you take this on as your own little project. And if you do or did make your own zine and you want to share it with me, please tag me on Instagram because I would absolutely love to see it. This also feels like a good video in which to plug my art Etsy shop. It is linked in the description. I promise my digital downloads of my art are much better than my mediocre drawings in this zine, and they can be printed for great holiday gifts. Also linked below, as always, is my Instagram, Pinterest, and my virtual personal styling services through the app Index. Let me know in the comments your favorite prompt that I gave here or your favorite page from my zine that I made. And I heard if you do, leave a comment, watch another video, and subscribe. Your handwriting and title spacing will turn out perfectly in your own zine and you won't have to go back and redo it later. Okay.